Okay, hello everyone. I'm Dr. Vakalis. I will be your professor for this exciting course CS 445. I think you know my name, but let me write it for you. It's Dr. Vakalis. And some of you who know me already detect my accent. So here is my name written in my native language. So clearly the first is English. What do you think is the second? All right, especially for the people who belong to a fraternity or a sorority, better know. All right, it's Greek. And I hope you realize Greek is not that difficult. Look at the one-to-one correspondence between the letters. It's amazing, eh? It doesn't happen all the time, but here it does. So very quick introduction to who am I for the people who don't know me. I was born in Greece, certainly spent the first 20 years of my life in Greece. After the high school, I took the very difficult entrance exam and I entered the university and studied physics. How many of you love physics? Perhaps not that many of you. So for 4 years I studied physics and math. No general education exists in the European system. That means I took 4 courses of physics and math for every semester for 4 years. About 25 to 30 courses in physics. Of course, you love it after you do 25 courses or 30 courses in physics. It's called the technique of brainwashing. After that, I wanted to be an astrophysicist, but my professors encouraged me to come to United States, I guess where you could meet face to face and not study astrophysics but study computer science. So I did, and I came to Michigan, which I call the North Pole because I haven't seen snow in my life. And I started with CS 101, 102, 103 and so on. It took me 3.5 years to do maybe 3 years to do the Masters in Computer Science, about 1.5 the undergraduate and 1.5 the Master's program. Then I fell in love with mathematics, so I stayed 4.5 more years. I did a PhD in theoretical mathematics. That's why I teach this kind of courses. And my doctoral research eventually was the integration of computing and math in the area of calculating 50-dimensional integrals using parallel computing and data structures. So a combination of math, advanced calculus, data structures, parallel computing, and a lot of proofs on the complexity of the algorithms. So that was the PhD. Then I stayed for about 12 years in Columbus, Ohio. I taught in a liberal arts college and at Ohio State, and where my, I guess, liking for American football solidified because I used to watch the games between Ohio State and Michigan. That's the real football, I guess, American football. And in 2006, I was recruited to come to Cal Poly as the department chair, where I served for about 11 years as the department chair. My colleagues and I did lots of things over 11 years, and I would summarize my 2 greatest achievements over 11 years was, one, to get to the department a lot of money, so we can allow our colleagues to travel and support the students, and primarily to build all the labs that you guys so much enjoy, like the software engineering lab, the human computer interaction lab or HCI, the game lab, the cybersecurity lab, all the labs, as some of you know, are done through private donations. Zero money from the state for labs. So that took a lot of fundraising. Also the parallel computing lab, or MPAC, the massively parallel lab in building 20, that cost about $300,000 to renovate the space, get the air conditioning, get the machines, get the tables, get the multi-core machines. $300,000, all for private donations. That means some of you that you're going to graduate soon, you have to start thinking, give me back to the department. That's the only way we can maintain this learn by doing. That's why other CSUs do not have the labs that we have. Understand, it all comes down to a department chair that loves fundraising. I loved it, loved to raise money. And I guess the wealth and the success of the alumni. And I'm assuming you will be successful because you will be Cal Poly graduates. So think about that. And the second achievement that I'm very proud was the enormous support that I and my colleagues provided for the women in our department, the young women in the department. When I came, there was about 6% of females, and now almost 30% incoming first-year students are females. So that took 11 years for this journey, and the support that we provide to the young women to go to conferences. So right now, I wanted a break, and I do teach more. But you should know that as a hobby, I do card magic, meaning close-up card magic. I'm learning more and more, slowly, because you know I have a job, I have to teach you theory, and I have to learn how to do all these things online. Anyway, so I'll practice some more later on and in the summer. But hopefully, if you're around, I can show you some magic tricks. My card magic is primarily algorithmic. That means not too much sleight of hand. And I believe card magic involves a combination of the physical, the cards, the mathematical, the clever algorithms, the artistic, and the psychological. So all four aspects have to be combined when one does card magic. And I find this very challenging because I'm not that good and I have to become better and better. And also quite rewarding because it evokes an emotion to the audience that you do the trick or the effect. So I hope I can evoke your emotions by the end of the quarter in the theory of computation. Believe me, at the beginning it will appear or I guess you'll get the sense that you don't know where this is going. But towards the end, the last week or so, maybe 2 weeks, it will all start making sense as long as 1, you study, 2, you remember everything that we cover, and 3, you look at this lecture with an emotion of liking it, of loving it. Then you're going to see at the very end how all these things will tie together, and it will be a wonderful course. Okay, so to finish up my quick story, I do teach quite a bit now, theory of computing and also the discrete math. And I'm becoming a card magician slowly. But I cannot also forget to remind you that my unfulfilled dream is to meet Lady Gaga. You may know that I have been to 5 of her concerts, and if any of you have any connections with anyone in the inner circle of Lady Gaga, meaning the manager, somebody who takes care of her schedule, I need this contact. I would like to invite her to come sometime next year to Cal Poly with a combination with 2 other high-up VPs, female VPs in Apple and Google and Bank of America, so we can have a great panel